And we're back, folks, here with another installment of WWE Network and Chill. I'm Graham GSM Matthews, and every single week I break down all the original content I watch on the WWE Network as well as on the USA Network, because today we're talking Season 1, Episode 14, the Season 1 finale of Miz and Mrs., entitled Miz Fest. After all the episodes, we have arrived here at the Season 1 finale, as it aired on the USA Network this past Tuesday after SmackDown Live on the USA Network. Of all the recent episodes, this actually ended up being one of the least newsworthy, noteworthy episodes in recent memory. An entertaining episode nonetheless, but definitely not newsworthy or noteworthy without really any moral of the story. There's no real lesson learned in this episode, unlike every other episode that's preceded it. It's just an entertaining episode from start to finish. We do kick off the show with a bit of a running gag that would come back as a running gag throughout this episode, with Miz being mocked for his dad bod at Hell in a Cell. I forgot who put out the tweet mocking Miz for his dad bod. Maurice would not let that go. She would bring that up as a bit of a running joke throughout the remainder of the episode. So as far as Miz knows, they're just having a simple, quiet night for Miz's birthday. What he doesn't know is that Maurice is bringing in all of his friends from DC, Orlando, Cleveland. They're all coming to the Castle Mar Miz to celebrate Miz's birthday. So Miz and Maurice go birthday shopping. He picks out a few things that he may want, and Maurice is like, no way. And she ends up buying some of those things for him anyway, including a poker table, which I'm not even really sure why he would want one, but hey, it's Miz. He wants one. He ends up getting one anyway. So while they're out shopping for Miz's birthday, she actually ends up beating Miz 2-1 in some party games, including foosball, air hockey, and what was the other one? Oh, darts. So she beat him 2-1 in those games. Miz talks to Renee Young and Paige, as well as Samoa Joe, who's also seen on camera, but he doesn't make any comments in this conversation. They're all talking Miz's grand 38th birthday, and he goes all out every single year, and they're kind of surprised that he's not really doing anything special for his 38th birthday, even though it's not supposed to be a special birthday, but they're kind of surprised that he's hanging low on his birthday for once. So Maurice cooks all day for Miz's birthday, and Miz ends up being a bit disappointed by the fact that it's a simple, quiet dinner. Nothing special about it. He's like, that's it. There's nothing more to this. This is kind of deflating in my personal opinion. And one of the gifts that Maurice gets Miz is a gym membership, partly tongue-in-cheek for the fact that he has a dad bod. She wants him to get in shape. Miz does not like these gifts whatsoever. She gets him a bodybuilder workout thing, and the only real reason she got him the membership was so he could be out of the house the following morning, so she can bring in all of his friends without him knowing. And Maurice also said that she likes just messing with him. So anyway, he goes to the gym. Everyone hides when he comes back. They surprise the contractor instead. Miz and Maurice's contractor who shows up, they surprise him, and then Miz shows up a few seconds later, and they do a half-ass surprise because everyone is already up at that point, so he already sees everybody. It's like that surprise party from Big Daddy where I think Adam Sandler's character walks in, and they give him the cheap surprise, the big surprise, and then the real birthday boy, who is Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart's character walks in, and they're like, oh, we ruined the good surprise in Adam Sandler. That's what that reminded me of. Anyway, George hides by the pool. Miz's dad actually makes it, and his mom. They all surprise the Miz. They get him a poker table like I talked about. They go on a Miz Fest, which is basically where they go from bar to bar, just bar hopping, drinking and partying in one place before going to the next place. Miz gets a dad bod shirt from his good friend Ryan Cabrera, who was on a previous episode of here on the show. Again, I'm not exactly sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, like I said in my last review of the show where he was present, but whatever. Meanwhile, George stays home and watches Monroe, and they're a bit skeptical because he hasn't watched Kids in Years, and he's a bit of a doofus sometimes, so they're not exactly all that, confident that he's going to do a good job, but they want to go out and have a good time, so they allow him to watch Monroe back at home. So they get to the last bar, and they see George there. They're like, I thought he was watching Monroe. So they go up to him, and he says, yeah, I left the house. And they're freaking out. Maurice is almost in tears, pissed off at this point. And then he reveals to them that Marjo, although she was at the bars and whatnot, going from bar to bar with Maurice and Miz and all the friends, she ended up going home because she got bored and she was just tired or whatever, so she went home. She ended up watching Monroe instead. But she didn't tell Miz and Maurice that, so they're freaking out. George assures them that she's in good hands, that Marjo is watching Monroe. Everything is fine. So they have a great time. They close out the night all crazy on the party bus, all this other stuff. Zack Ryder is there. Chelsea Green, his girlfriend from NXT, is there. So they end off the episode. They cap off the episode here with Maurice surprising Miz with a blow-up picture of Miz and a hot dog from the aforementioned tweet where Miz was said to have a dad bod. So he's not exactly aroused by this. He was brought into the bedroom by Maurice, and Miz was under the assumption that it would be like some, like they're brought into the bedroom, and Miz can only, one can only assume what that would be leading to, and he's disappointed by the whole dad bod gag. And then Maurice ends up, taking away her clothes. Anyway, obviously we don't see any of this, and then we're kind of left to our own imagination as the show goes off the air as to what they did next. And that capped off the episode. Again, it wasn't all that newsworthy of an episode. It wasn't really like a lesson was learned here, aside from Maurice trying to surprise Miz. But it was a good, a feel-good episode to close off the season with. Everyone was great here. It was great to see Zack Ryder, Chelsea Green, Mr. Miz, Mrs. Miz, Maurice, Monroe, Marjo, Miz, the whole cast and crew of the show, all in one episode. So that was awesome. But yeah, be sure to check this episode out on the USA Network, Season 1, the episode 14, Season 1 finale entitled Miz Fest. And that's it for Miz and Mrs. for the season. I know they already confirmed a second season. No word on when that's premiering. I don't know if it's later on in 2019 or early 2020. So I guess we'll soon see. But I would have to assume it might be a while before we get any sort of new shows debuting on the USA or the E! Network. Because I know Total Bellas and Total Divas are both on hiatus right now. I think the last show we had before Miz and Mrs. was Total Bellas. And I think Total Divas is due back anytime now. I don't think we've had a new episode of Total Divas since late last year. And it's currently May as I record this. So that might be the next set of reviews they might be doing here for Network and Chill in the months to come. But there's been no confirmation on when the series is coming back. So stay tuned for more on that in the weeks and months to come. Anyway, guys, be sure to like this video, drop a comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more content. I'll be back in the coming days with more content here on the channel, including hashtag AskGSM, Wrestle Rant Radio excerpts, Double or Nothing videos, live reaction videos, stuff of that nature. So subscribe today if you haven't already. Anyway, guys, have a great rest of your weekend. I'm Graham GSM Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.